Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're having a great day. Weather's finally starting to get a bit warmer. It'll be nice to go outside for a change. Today's title is a little bit of a lie. I'm actually not going to be talking about starting something new. I'm going to be talking about continuing something that you're still new at. Now, why would I be doing that? Well, because I think it's easy for people to start something new and then get very discouraged. And I think part of that is just, where is your focus in this? Where are you looking? So I just want to kind of talk about that without trying to get too much into cliches, but everything's a cliche anymore. I think a big mistake people tend to make is they focus on the wrong thing after they've gotten out of that kind of brand new beginner stage. I think, they'll look at someone who's really skilled at something like, I want to do that. Or they have a passion for something and they start doing it. And then they, work through that beginner phase of knowing nothing, learning everything. And then they get to this kind of weird middle spot where you're no longer a true beginner. You're also not really intermediate yet. You're not confident in being able to do this thing entirely and truly. And at that point, you're kind of looking for inspiration. And I think a lot of people are looking kind of in the wrong spot. They'll go to beginner tips and see experts or people who've been doing it a long time giving them tips and that, or they'll look at the person who inspired them in the first place and they'll be looking way up here. But I think doing that, it's easy to get discouraged, because I think those beginner tips are written for people who are like brand new, like day one. They haven't really practiced something yet. And looking at that person above you, your mind just kind of like, how do I get there? And the only answer, just looking at that, is hard work and perseverance. And not having that path, that clear path to get there, I think can be a little discouraging. So how do you fix that? How do you stick with it? How do you not get discouraged? I think the answer is to actually look back. Not back on yourself. That helps, you can kind of have a sense of progression. But I think to just look back on the people below you. And not below you in a bad way, but like brand new beginners. It's like you've started way down here, and now you've worked your way up here. You're trying to get up here. You're not even right here yet. You're just a little bit better. And you start to stall out. So I think if you actually look down at the people who are true brand new beginners, you can look at how far you've come. You can look at them struggling to do something like, oh, I kind of remember that struggle, but now here I am. I'm doing it effortlessly. I'm doing it without thinking anymore. And I haven't even been working on it that long. I think even, if you're just practicing something casually, it's better to look back at the people who are absolutely brand new and see kind of how far you've come just through effortless practice. And I'm getting notifications. Completely lost my train of thought. So yeah, then you see how far you've come through effortless practice, and then in your mind, you know that, oh, I just keep sticking with it, and in 6 months, I'm going to be so much further ahead than where I am now. And that sounds, cliche and obvious, but I really do think people spend too much time looking at where they want to be, or looking at the people above them, when just taking a look back at, humble beginnings, seeing what people are doing, seeing where they're struggling. It helps you realize how far you've come. So I think just changing that gaze from up where I want to be to down where I started, I think it will help you climb easier, right? So I kind of had the epiphany about this and wanted to talk about it when I was out snowboarding. I'm still not good at snowboarding at all. I've only been on the mountain 6 times. I wouldn't even say I can properly snowboard. I can get down the slope though. So while snowboarding, I just had this realization that no matter where I'm at right now, there's people looking at me who it's their very first day out, and they're seeing the little bit I can do and the little bit of confidence I have in what I'm doing, and they're thinking, oh man, I wish I was that guy. I wish I wasn't stuck here not knowing what to do. I wish I was like him and able to go. And that sounds so strange because, again, I'm not good at snowboarding, but I remember having that feeling. I remember my first day of snowboarding, struggling so hard just to make the first turn of going front to back, and just spending the entire day not being able to do it, and yet seeing other people being able to do it no problem. And even one of those people I saw, they weren't even doing it on purpose. They were just flipping back and forth down the mountain, no problem. So I was so jealous of that. But now here I am, and I'm, getting down no problem. I'm not doing it with a lot of speed and grace, but I'm getting down no problem. I'm so much better now. And I just realized that there's now people looking at me thinking that they wish, they could be doing what I'm doing. Now, of course, there's other people bombing down the hill, being amazing, like doing this so much more, that look at me and be like, oh man, this dude's a loser, get out of the way, you're taking up space. There's definitely that going on, but like, if I only looked at those people, I would be too intimidated, I would be too scared to actually try to improve it all. But if I look at the people and remember that I was one of them, and that now just with a little bit I've come so far, that if I just keep working at it, I'm also going to come much further and get to the point where I'm looking back at someone who's at my current skill level and be like, oh man, I remember how tough that was, and it just makes me see people on the mountain struggling and wanting to like really encourage them, even though again I'm sure if I did encourage them, I would immediately get up and fall down again. So, but I think that's something to think about, because there's a lot of new stuff I'm trying to do, and if I just looked at, I'm recording YouTube videos. If I just looked at the people on YouTube with 40 million subscribers, like, oh man, how would I ever get there? Like, I'd stress myself out. I'd hate it. It'd be work. I wouldn't want to do it. Like learning magic recently, like just simple stuff like springing cards. I'm still not the best at it, but what I can do, impresses people who can't do it at all. I think that's the thing. If you're always looking at the next step, you lose the appreciation for how far you've come. So if you just remember to look back a little, I think you'll be a bit more inspired, and it'll feel so good to just continue where you were going in the first place. So what do you guys think? What do you think is the best way to stay motivated at something, to keep it going? Do you think you should always be looking ahead, where you want to be, having that goal in mind? Do you think sometimes, like I've said, it's good to look back and realize you've come a long way, and that inspires you to even go further? So tell me what you think. Also put down if you started something new this past year, which I think, come on, everyone did. I've started 3 new things. Put them down in the comments, and also add a little tip. Maybe you're not good at it, maybe you're not even intermediate, but just give a little tip. I think tips from those people who are still in the beginner phase, I honestly feel they're a little more useful than the people who've been doing it for 20 years and giving tips, because I think they kind of have forgotten what is useful knowledge at that phase. So yeah, tell me what you started new. Leave it down in the comments. I hope you guys have a great day. Catch you later.